Expanding a family can be exciting, but for many women, the journey to conceiving can be complicated. Issues of infertility can take a physical and emotional toll. And despite advancements in reproductive technology, the process of getting pregnant can be isolating and full of so much uncertainty. So joining me now to discuss how we can better support people navigating infertility is double board certified reproductive endocrinologist, infertility expert, and author of The Lucky Egg, Dr. Lucky Sekhon. Thank you so much for being with us. Let's start with what's seemingly a simple question. Are people misinformed in thinking that it's easy to conceive?
Absolutely. I always tell my patients human reproduction is extremely inefficient. And that sounds like a negative statement, but I actually think it's something that should bring a lot of people comfort, because all too often people will be trying for 3-4 months and thinking their bodies are broken or there's something that they're not doing right, when in reality, on average, it takes about 12 months of consecutive efforts month after month for about 85% of couples to conceive.
Wow.
Yes.
Wait, say that fact just one more time again, because I don't think most people realize that.
Yes, it can take up to a year to get pregnant for many people. And the thing is, even when you're in your reproductive prime years, let's say in your 20s, each cycle when you ovulate one egg, it's a long shot. There's like a 20 to 25% chance that it could actually become a pregnancy. And that obviously gets a little bit harder as we get older because egg quality changes as we age.
Yeah.
So we just have to be a bit realistic, but the key is you don't want to keep doing something over and over without having a game plan. So there are certain time points where it's recommended to see a fertility doctor, like, you know, at the year mark, if you're under 35, if you're 35 and older, don't wait longer than 6 months, because that's when we think it's time to get testing and potentially treatment.
Okay, so a lot of what you said just now, talking about eggs over the age of 35, it makes people think of women.
Yes.
And a lot of times, it may not be the woman, but men also can face trouble when trying to conceive.
Right. This shouldn't be a shocking fact because it takes a sperm and an egg, right? But it's really 50-50. 50% of the couples that I see and treat who have infertility have a male factor.
50%,
Yes.
which, like you said, it's half the party it takes.
Exactly.
50%.
Right. Men are always making new sperm. Every 74 days, there's a new sperm cell regenerated, and they have millions of sperm, and they do this for the rest of their lives, right? And they're not the ones carrying the pregnancy.
Yeah.
So there tends to be this bias that it's more of a female issue. But nothing could be further from the truth. Both couples, or both members of the couple, should be tested concurrently at the same time, and both of them should be working on leading a healthy lifestyle and trying to optimize their general health and fertility.
This is such important information, especially because a lot of times, as we're talking about, it's the woman who carries so much emotional toll, or thinking that maybe there's something wrong with her body. So as you were writing this book, looking at both the clinical and emotional clarity to help women understand what's happening, what surprised you?
I mean, I think what surprises me when I look at all of the resources that have existed up until this point is that there isn't really something comprehensive that's been written by a doctor, someone who's actually helping people and is in the trenches helping people overcome infertility. Yeah. And so I think what surprised me from all the conversations I've had with my patients and conversations I've had about this book is how little fundamental knowledge people have about how their bodies work. So I think that, you know, this book really isn't just for people who are already encountering issues. I think it's really to fill the knowledge gap so that people understand the basics, like, well, what does it actually mean to ovulate? And why does it matter to know when to anticipate that? How inefficient is human reproduction?
Yeah.
And where are the areas where things can go wrong? And really understanding the different testing and treatment options, because I think all of that can feel so overwhelming and scary, but it doesn't have to feel that way.
So what's the biggest takeaway for readers from The Lucky Egg?
The biggest takeaway is you're definitely not alone. 1 in 6 couples or individuals will struggle with their fertility. You're not doomed. You don't have all of your eggs go bad at your 35th birthday, right? Fertility is not a cliff where you're falling off of the cliff. It's a continuum, and women can conceive even without the help of an expert like me, even in their late 30s and 40s. But it's important to be realistic and have access to the tools and information in case you run into trouble. And also, this is as much a physical problem as it is a mental issue, right? There's such a mental health aspect to this that I wove into my book to make sure people have the tools on how to build their resilience. Because like I said, this is not a sprint, it's a marathon for a lot of people.
Wow, so really taking into effect the mental health aspect and how that plays into your health overall.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sekhon, for being with us. And we'll be right back here on ABC News Live Weekend.